Great. I'm about to start our presentation now. So just a quick introduction. My name is NkosI Kumalo. I'm talking to you from BCX. I currently work in BCX as a managing executive of a division called BCX EXA. BCX EXA is a division that is looking after the digitalization capability for our company. Obviously targeting customers who are on the journey towards digitalization. In BCX EXA, we've got four key competencies that we have built inside. We've got system integration, we've got software development, we have got full outsource, right? Application outsource. We also lastly have digital advisory and consulting services for customers that would like to start the journey. So let's talk about how you explore data insights and intelligence deployment model for enterprise customers. This is my talk for today. I'm excited to be sharing some of these thoughts with you, and I really hope you enjoy it. Three key agenda items: business challenges, data strategy deployment, and who is BCX EXA. I don't want to go into too much detail around the business challenges. There's a few that I have highlighted here, but I will just touch high level. We know in South Africa, probably globally, the economy is not doing so great, especially when you look at the forecast the businesses had before COVID. Yes, we are making a little bit of a turnaround, but it is still sluggish in terms of what the ambitions were pre-COVID. A lot of companies have found it very difficult to survive. There's a cost pressures that we are seeing that are happening because of other external factors in the environment. In South Africa, for an example, you've got cost pressures that are caused by the energy costs. Our service provider from an energy point of view is seriously under pressure. With the continuous blackouts, it obviously takes away costs from the business, it takes away the revenues from the business, which ultimately increases costs. This is a real challenge. And of course, we are looking at a business that is trying to survive at the same time, trying to keep the number of people that work for them. And ultimately, we are looking at an environment which is absolutely going online because of your work from home. With more and more employees working from home, cyber attacks are obviously becoming rife because, as you know, it's absolutely quite difficult to actually provide and guarantee connectivity security when people are accessing connectivity via remote devices. It is always better, as they say, in terms of the local area network, but once you start getting into the Wi-Fi capability, security becomes really exposed, and it becomes something that would need someone with a good skill and understanding to be able to mitigate some of those risks. All of these points that I've put up here, they are really talking to what is it that you need to take into account when you are looking for a data strategy to actually grow your business. I have summarized some of the points as I talk to you about the approach. We've summarized these points into 6 key things, or should I say considerations, that you have to take into account when you embrace a data strategy. CapEx under pressure. Data is growing exponentially, as we know, and a lot more CIOs are just driving motivations to get more money to accommodate more data that they need to store. AI sprawl. It is a new thing. A lot of people are looking at how they can leverage. There's pockets of excellence that is happening across the whole organizations where people are taking their data and starting to build business models from the data. That is a challenge because it can lead to confusion. A lot of people are doing their own things in the organization, which is really not orchestrated well. It can miss the bigger ambition. Skill is a problem. Skill has always been a challenge, especially in technology, let alone when we start talking about these emerging technologies, AI, machine learning, RPA, you name them. I look at job adverts mostly, almost every day because I'm in this business of embracing skill. And it's very difficult to find these people. They are still expensive today. So skill is something that you really need to take into consideration. And I mentioned the fact that data as a strategy has to be embraced at the most strategic level of the organization. And then, of course, the most important thing is compliance. Colleagues, there are three things that you have to obviously, or that are at your disposal in terms of embracing a data strategy. And this is really the core of my conversation today. You've got the option of either building, buying, or partnering. When you build, there are a few things that you have to consider. You have to have the skill available in-house. You have to be comfortable that you can do this thing on your own. You have to be comfortable that it will be faster, it will be cheaper, and at a lower risk. You also have to be comfortable that this is the competency that your organization want to own for whatever reason. It might be because you want to own the IP and make sure that you future-proof yourself against the competitive market. You obviously have to make sure that you've got commitments throughout the whole organization to actually do this because it's an investment that you have to make. When you buy, you can obviously consider buying through either a merger and acquisition or buying components, own them into your organization, put them in your balance sheet, and make sure that these are owned assets. This is the center of excellence that you have invested in. You buy, you run because it's quick. There are platforms that are available out there in the market. Either you can rent them or you can buy them. They are available. If you do choose to buy, just understand that when you buy, you own it. You have to obviously be able to maintain it and must be able to support it. You have to consider the fact that someone has done it and can actually help you to do it faster and cheaper. And it absolutely has to make commercial sense for you. So it's quite important. You cannot invest on something that is ultimately going to create more problems for you when it comes to your EBITDA line. It has to make sense. And then, of course, the last part, which is not the least important, is partnering. Partnering, you can choose to partner with someone who has got complementary capability, right? We as BCX really like the partnering option because we choose our customers very well. We choose customers that are absolutely serious, who are looking at this data as a key future, looking at changing their business models and be disruptors and not be disrupted. We are looking to partner with people who will really make BCX a force to be reckoned with, referenceable customers who are driving for change. And we invest in this partnership. It's not just we come in there for a purchase order, but we invest. We are looking for partnerships that are mutually beneficial. We bring the whole capability that we have as BCX, not only just having conversation around the data intelligence and insights capability, but this requires you to have much more than just a data platform. There's so many components that are involved in building this capability, and I will get into those a little bit later. The one thing about partnering is you partner in such a manner that it allows you to fail fast, fail forward, and fail cost effectively. And by the way, partnering also allows you to have a hybrid model in which you can do this. You can buy certain components, you can build certain components, and some components you can rent them or partner with someone who can actually take you to this. But have a partner who has got a bigger understanding, especially around the consultative capability, who will take you from an advisory point of view, hold you by the hand, and take you towards where you want to get to ultimately. There are a few partners that are service providers in the market from a data intelligence and data insights. We've got Microsoft, Azure, Google, SaaS, and a few others. These partners have got platforms which you can buy as a service and embrace them, use them, build some capabilities around them, because there's certain customizations that you can obviously, let me say configurations that you can actually do to make sure that they fit for purpose for your organization. Or you could choose to buy components that are outside of their cloud model and build this capability on your own in a business. Whatever it is that you choose, understand that when you build, especially around building, you have to think about what are the components that makes up this data platform that you're talking about. Servers, I mean, you have to make a decision. If you don't have any cloud experts in your business, you have to think about, what are the governance around data residency in your business? Do you want to build this thing into your own data center? Do you want to put it into a hyperscaler cloud environment? Do you want to go into someone who's a data center service provider, buy a co-location services, have a dedicated rack space, and make sure that you build this thing outside of your premises? These are some of the things that you have to think about, and it requires a particular skill that you probably might not have in your business. But if you do, great. There's an operating system conversation that you have to have there. Do you go open source? Do you go Microsoft? Do you go other operating systems that might probably be in line with your strategy going forward in terms of your overall technology ambition? These are some of the key, because you really don't want to invest recklessly and be driven only by the cost and forget where you are trying to go as a business. The database, I mean, which one do you bet on? I mean, there's so many databases out there, and for different reasons, you would invest in a particular database. Warehouse, security. Security is such a specialized piece. Like I said earlier, you have to partner or leverage components from people who have got the know-how of protecting whatever level of security that you may have. You may choose to actually start hardening your security from the very same mobile app all the way through to the network, the servers, the components, the processors, everything. But you probably want to take a consultative approach where someone can do an assessment of your environment, tell you exactly where you are exposed from a threat point of view. So the point I'm really just trying to drive here is buying and building needs you to have a certain level of expertise, understanding across a wide array of things that you need to consider when you are obviously building or buying. You don't have to do this on your own. A partner who is in the business of technology with the data insights and intelligence capability built as part of their core offerings is working with this thing on a daily basis. This might not be your business, but it's their business to make sure they're always on top of these things. They've got scale, they've got bargaining power, they can go into the service providers and be able to negotiate great deals for licensing, for platforms as a service, on-sell it to you with the ability to manage it, deploy it, support it, and most importantly, give you an SLA that you can, hold them to and make sure that whatever it is that they commit, they put the skin in the game in terms of the deliverables. Now, let's talk about why BCX is best positioned partner with you in terms of your data and insights capability. If you look at BCX capability across the board, we've got 7 stacks or 7 layers of our capability that we have built over time. In the base infrastructure, we've got cloud, which is hosted, dedicated. If you are a public sector organization, we can give you that cloud. Hyperscalers, we've got partnerships with hyperscalers. We work with them on a daily basis. We've got a security practice within BCX where we can help you understand where the exposure is or where your risks are and help you mitigate some of those challenges. Connectivity is core. It's probably one of the big businesses that we run within BCX, where we provide different levels of connectivity from voice, wireless, mobile data, and fixed connectivity that obviously covers LAN, WAN, internet solutions using different network capabilities. We've got devices that we can connect you to. This is a one throat to choke type of offering. We are having partnerships with the likes of HP, Dell, you name all the hardware providers, we work with them. Services, we also, the applications are also, are available where we can give you the SAP, Oracle, Microsoft. We have got competencies in there where we are able to engage with these people. We've got certified people. We've got the right level of partner level that gives us certain discounts, that gives us access to information and support from the partnership at that level helps you to take away all these that you have to put in place on your own and ultimately deliver a frustration-less engagement. And then, of course, we have got the services and the data practice that we have built. Let me take you through the key journey that we take our customers when we talk about data, right? It's important to understand that there are predominantly 5 key strategic categories that we look at when we help our customers towards their digital goals. We look at the workforce, we look at the operations, we look at the customers, we look at the products, and most importantly, and not least, the suppliers. Colleagues, all of these, they talk to the core network, the backbone of your business, which is normally where the disruptions or the work is more difficult. That's where you've got your legacy applications that are probably sitting. Think about it. If you want to start this journey, first of all, you have to make sure that your organization is stabilized, right? You have to think about, when it comes to people, the digital skill that you require there, business processes optimization, policies and procedures that will ultimately guide you in terms of how you work within the digital world. Do you have, in the operations side, do you have the way in which you actually manage data? What is the solution that you are going to be putting in place to make sure that from an operations point of view, you can run? What is the architecture? What is the ideal data architecture that your organization has to embrace to be able to deliver against that ultimate goal? Think about the customers, a customer journey, the customer experience. Who are you competing with? What is the experience you want to drive with your customer? What are your customers saying to you? These are some of the things that BCX is engaging you with on, and they are building their business plans with you towards data journey and to help you ultimately deliver your business ambitions. You've got, in the product space, what is the online way in which you expose your products? E-commerce thinking. How do the customers pay for it? How do you ensure that you authenticate very well with customers? Is it the real customer that you're dealing with, or could it be another cyber attack? What is the customer process optimization that you are actually embracing? And then, of course, the last one is the suppliers. How do you make sure that logistics and supply chain processes are automated using things like RPA and all those? We have got that capability mapped out. Like I said earlier, There's digital advisory services and consulting. We can actually have you have a plan, embrace or engage the services of our system integrator, system developers, and if you want, you can even outsource the full thing out to us. But there's a transformation stage there. You know, the journey that we take you ultimately from a transformation is obviously, I mean, from a people, just as an example, do you create employee portals? How do you manage knowledge within the organization? You know, in the operation side, how do you make sure that you've got predictive DevOps? How do you make sure that you've got embedded integration services where you're going to integrate the whole operations towards this data strategy? I mean, this slide is very important in terms of giving you ultimately the key to make sure that you move from stabilize the organization, transform the organization, ultimately get to the disrupt. Be the disruptor. Go out there and start engaging your customers in such a manner that you are able to say to Mr. Customer, here's an intelligent assistant that is going to help you from a customer service point of view. And you don't have to hold on to the phone listening to music whilst you're waiting for service. How do you get to a stage where from your supply chain, you've got predictive supply chain? How do you get to your people and embrace gamification for your own employees so that when they engage with your organization, they engage in a fun leveraging of the digital space? So this is really the journey that we take you, and we've got that capability. You don't have to do this alone. We can help you with a plan. We can help you with how you deploy the plan, and we can help you support, manage it, and you can also sign up from an SLA point of view because we can put our money where our mouth is. Right? I spoke about the key capabilities in EXA, but again, lastly, I just need to say, in BCX, we work with all these industries that can help you leverage certain cases or references where we have done the work. You can see the work that we have done in this space, and we can help you really get to your digital aspiration. I'm here. I'm available. If you want to connect with me afterwards, I will be in the lobby waiting for you to engage. Thank you very much. I really hope this was worth it and absolutely helpful in terms of the decisions that you're looking to make. Thank you very much.